Hello traders. Instead of an email, I decided to make an end of the year video. And the goal of this video is to highlight the objectives of each level. These are the things that you're actually doing and accomplishing with each particular level. In particular, I want to encourage the brand new traders. Those of you who've been doing this for a year or two have long since forgotten how long that first month was, learning the charts, how to scroll, what a pip is, and so on. But to start off with, the Forex Art of War program assumes you're working on this 2 hours per day, 4 days per week. I'm teaching you an entire strategy which includes decision making and mindset. Now there are 3 levels. Level 1 and 2 have class videos. I teach the 3rd level at this time personally to each trader. Now the strategy considers each aspect of trading that is going to ultimately affect your success. Some of this, as you'll see, is only talked about by me, I guess because I've been doing this so long. But the first level is 8 videos. And you guys know, here's a site, you click on education, and there they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These videos contain the basic knowledge and the language that we use. I also record many live sessions, and during those I really do attempt to take the time to focus on the very basic things. So to go to those recordings, I do attempt to record most of them. Click on level 3 and you'll find those here. And again, I record most of them, or many of them, and you should find something for a person at every level in each of those recordings. They each last about an hour. You'll probably find a surprise here or there as you listen. I'm not suggesting that you listen to all these at once. I would stay focused on whatever your objectives are, and then if you have a little time, go ahead and listen into one of those. So what we're doing in level 1 is we're beginning to tune your eyes into a trend, and you're getting proficient at the charts and trading platform, and you're taking a simple trade. So level 1 comes with a simple trading plan. When I send my personal welcome to you, I usually attach that. If you don't have it, all you got to do is ask. I'll send you another one. You will notice that the original video I created is a little bit different from the current plan, so make sure you have the printed PDF. And that looks just like this. This is directing you to take a particular type of setup. And it pretty much covers everything you need to know. It looks like a lot, but it's actually pretty simple. Now, when you take the correct setup, you can then move to level 2. What's a correct setup? Watch how fast this can be done once you just get familiar. Here's my fib. Here's a pullback to 38.2. We got our entry. Put our stop 30 pips under. If we get 2 pips, for the spread, we do 15 plus 2, which gives us 17 pips to the target. Very simple. That's it. I mean, it may not sound simple if you're brand new, but you'll see when you look back on this. If you're brand new, you'll need to practice with the new language and the tools. Give yourself about a month. When we're unfamiliar with something, the faster we push, the more frustrated we get. So give yourself about a month, 3 weeks to 4 weeks, to become familiar with all of these basics. As you'll see in the end, I'm asking you to do some simple things, and let's just kind of walk through those again. A is see the direction of the trend. You can see that this moving average, it changes direction. See it all squiggly? It moves, it changes direction faster. If you want, you can double click on that and change it to choose style, change it to dotted. You could do that, and that would help you see it, or you can change it to another color. I would suggest maybe making the faster one dotted if you need to make a change. But you can see, if you look, it crosses down faster and then it turns this corner faster. And so all we're looking for is if the moving average is above the slower one, the faster one above the slower one, we can only buy. So that's our first criteria. Use any barrier to enter. In this case, when I drew this earlier, I used a fib. So I drew it from here to there. And retraced. You could have entered at 38.2 or 50%, either of the places. So that's what I mean by use any barrier. If we were looking at maybe a different trade, perhaps we would just see this place where price had resistance before, and we could basically, as price got up here and moved back in this direction, you could enter here. Okay, so let me zoom this back over here again. And then the final step is if we entered at 161.13, our stop would be what, 93.83, 161.73 down here. And then we would again see what our spread is when we bought 10 contracts in level 1. If our spread's 1, it would be 1 plus 15. If it was 2, it would be 2 plus 15. So whatever our entry price is, plus a little bit of spread, plus the 15, and that's your target. And while I'm not showing it in this video, I have it in the other videos in level 1. You know, you need to be able to type in your stop loss and limit and that sort of thing. Now, one thing that's different from the original video is they changed to 5 digits after the decimal instead of 4. And so instead of having pips, the last 2 digits, they're actually the last 3 digits. So when this says 161,258, that's really $1.61, 61 cents, 25 pips, and 0.8 of a pip. So it's 25.8 pips. So the last digit on this chart is 1/10 of a pip now. So just keep that in mind. What I would do as a level 1 trader is just ignore that last one and pay attention to the second and third from the end. A couple of months from now, I promise you what I just showed you is going to be as easy as adding 2 plus 2. But when you're totally new, it doesn't seem that way. But you just have to learn the basics, and that's just a little repetition and practice, asking me questions very frequently. You run into a bump, send me an email. Run into a bump, Skype me. Run into a bump, post it in the forum. And just do that, get in that habit. Now, in addition, you are learning to use the Fibonacci tool in level 1. You don't have to be great at drawing it, and by that I mean you don't have to put it in the exact right spot. If you start and end in the right direction in level 1, that's good enough for me. Concern yourself more with Fibonacci tool accuracy once you get to level 2. And let me kind of show you maybe a couple different ways you could do it. You might not have drawn your fib there. You know, maybe you put it here. And well, guess what? That one would have worked too. Now, which one's better? This one's better, but for level 1, you could do it in either place. Now, if you would have started it down here, you would have missed the trade because it didn't retrace according to your drawing. But you could have started here or here and used either of those levels, and that's fine for level 1. All I'm interested in is going in the direction of trend. You drew the fib in the right direction, you got in at a barrier, and you put the stop in the right place, the entry in the right place, and the target in the right place. That is your objective. And the key to moving fast, moving efficiently, I should say, is communicating with me often. Assert yourself. If you think a question's stupid, ask it anyway. I'm only concerned with where you are now and where you need to go next to move you closer to your goal. That's basically my job. As soon as you take this level 1 trade, you can move right into level 2. In level 2 here, there are 15 videos. There's actually 2 pages, so you got to click next right here to get to the others. Please don't jump ahead. Don't jump to level 2 until you finish the objectives in level 1. It's just going to be a lot easier for you that way. The objective of level 2 is to learn a high probability trading setup. I teach you the 5 elements that affect your probability of winning any trade and how to balance those elements. I also show you how personality is involved and how to adjust the setup to your personality. I teach you the importance of having a winning percentage above 70% in order to avoid additional psychological problems. And I teach you how all of this affects your bottom line profit, how your winning percentage affects your number of losses, how this determines the percentage of account you can put at risk, and so on. I even show you how to make more money by targeting less pips. In the end, you come out with a trading setup. Now, someone who has, experience can do this in 1 to 3 weeks. Someone brand new will obviously need a little more time to soak it in from repetition. Now, all of that may sound like a lot, but it's really simpler than it looks. So you end up with a trading setup, and now that you have the trading setup, it's time to move to level 3. This is where you will learn the most important aspect of trading and pass about 98% of the traders in the world on your first day. So you and I will work together to create a good trading plan. Now, I don't want to tell you exactly what we're going to do because I don't want to alert your defense systems. Don't worry, I'm not doing anything bad. I just want to walk you 90% across the high wire before you actually realize you're on a wire. You're not really taking any risk, but it feels that way if you're aware it's happening. But when you're posting trades, there comes a time quickly when I start asking you questions. When I begin asking you those questions, you are in level 3, and those answers begin to develop into your trading plan. And I want to say that as we create this, you know that this is your plan that you created with your answers and what you've learned. I'm only guiding you through it. And this is very important. If I simply give you a plan, to trade, you will likely never succeed trading. So it's crucial that you do it. Now, working on a trading plan with someone is always a fascinating process for me because people learn things about themselves that they didn't know. Usually we can be done with the plan in a few days back and forth, but those who have years of experience can take a lot longer because they have some ideas that are not helpful. They're just deeply planted in their view of trading, and I have to work with them to unwind that, which is why they couldn't succeed all of those years in the first place. Now, once we have the trading plan, you would simply be watching for trades, and when a trade fits your trading plan, you take the trade. I show you how to document each, and you tuck that away into a folder. The better you document your trades, the faster you reach your goal. So when you complete your first 10, I show you how to evaluate them and get the most out of that experience. You spend a day or two on that, and then you and I get together via screen sharing, and we go over each of your trades. I'm looking for your strengths and weaknesses just as you are. We'll find some weaknesses. I'll help you make those adjustments. And I want to say these adjustments rarely have to do with your trading method. They're almost always something to do with the instructions themselves. Now, I don't want to spoil some surprises, so I'll leave it at that. But once we make the adjustments, you set out to take trade 11 through 20. When you complete that, we repeat the process again. What we're doing is training you to take the correct setup and avoid mistakes. This usually takes about 40 to 60 trades to work out. And I'd say that you can expect each series of 10 to take about 4 to 6 weeks, though several people have done it much faster than that. Variables as far as how much time it takes would include how much time you have and when you can be watching the market. And when you take enough of the correct setups and avoid enough mistakes, you make profit. I know that's not very exciting, but that's how it really works. You and I can communicate via forums, Skype, email, or telephone, smoke signals, whatever it takes. Now, this is probably very different from what you will learn from anyone else online, and it might sound like a lot of work, but consider that this is one of the most valuable skills in the world, offering the greatest flexibility and freedom. Deep down, we all know that no one can have that kind of money and freedom without having some real skills, and that's where I come in. I really wanted to make this video to emphasize that if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, don't worry. I can assure you that people far less gifted than yourself have come before you and done well. Just remember that we're working on specific objectives and that the doing of these objectives is all that really moves you forward in your progress. This is why I would much rather have a flawed picture of something you're doing today than a more perfect picture tomorrow. So get in the habit of saying, oh, well, here's what I know how to do now. That would be the best attitude to have. And always remember that every single trader makes mistakes, so the sooner you get started making them, the better. One of our new members might recognize some of the content from this video, and I just want to, I don't recall his name right now, he's brand new, but I actually based this video on an email that I typed to him answering one of his questions. I thought, you know what, a lot of this would be beneficial to others, so thanks for inspiring that. But that's all for now. I want to thank each of you for being a part of this program. It means a lot to me. My goal is to help you reach your goal of consistent profit as quickly as possible. So never forget that. And one last thing. Happy New Year.